Good morning, students. We'll start this chapter, the Great Stone Face from Honeydew. Very interesting chapter. You'll love it. There are two parts of this story. One afternoon, when the sun was going down, that is sunset, a mother and a little boy sat at the door of their cottage. Cottage is a small house. Talking about the Great Stone Face. As you can see in the picture, we're talking about this great stone face. They had only to lift their eyes, that is, just look up, and there it was plain to be seen, through miles away with the sunshine brightening all its feature. And from their cottage, far away, they could see this great stone face. Now the question is, what was the great stone face? The great stone face actually was a work of nature. How? Formed on the perpendicular, that is the vertical side of a mountain by some immense rocks. So there are a lot of rocks, boulders, huge rocks, which had been thrown together. That means they were at one place, so that when viewed at a proper distance, they resembled the features of a human face. What the author is saying is, actually they were just huge rocks which were just put together naturally, not by anybody. And when you saw them from a distance, they seemed like a human face, which you can see the picture. It seems that it is a face of a human. If the spectator, that is person who is looking at the mountain, approached too near, he lost the outline of the enormous face and could see only a heap of gigantic is huge rocks, piled one upon another. Pile is collective noun. So these are what? Just rocks, one upon another. There are many rocks, big rocks, which are just piled on one upon another. But seen from a distance, when you go near, these are just simple big rocks. But when you go to a certain distance, the clouds clustering around it, moving around it, the great stone face seemed positively to be alive. But when you look at from a distance, it seems that it is the resemblance of a person. It was the belief of many people and the people living in that area that the valley is the plains between mountains is called valley, like the Doon Valley, the Kashmir Valley, owed much of its fertility, that is the soil. The soil was very fertile and they had good crops because of the fertility of the soil. To the benign face, benign is kind, friendly, gentle, that was continually beaming over it. Beaming is shining. So actually people believed that the valley, why the soil is so fertile, it is because of this mountain face. A mother and a little boy, which we had started in the beginning, as we said earlier, sat at the door of their cottage, that is a small house, gazing at the great stone face. Gazing is looking continuously at the great stone face and talking about it. So these mother and child, as you can see in the distance, there is the great mountain face and both of them are talking about the great stone face. The child's name was Ernest. Mother, he said, while the great face smiled on him, I wish that it could speak. So looking at the mountain which resembled a person's face, the child is saying, I wish it could speak, for it looks so very kindly that its voice must be indeed be pleasant. So the face is so kind, and if it starts speaking, its voice will also be very kind and gentle. If I ever see a man with such a face, I should love him very much. And he tells his mother, if ever I come across a person who has a similar face like that of the mountain, I would start loving that person. If an old prophecy should come to pass means if it comes true. If an old prophecy comes to pass, answered his mother, we may see a man sometime with exactly such a face as that. So there's the prophecy. Prophecy means when you tell something about the future. When you tell something about the future in advance, that is called prophecy. So there's a prophecy that there will be someday a man who will resemble this mountain face. What prophecy do you mean, dear mother? Eagerly inquired Ernest. So he's a child and he is very inquisitive, full of questions. So inquiring his mother, please tell me about it. So his mother told him a story that her own mother had told her when she herself is younger than little Ernest. So she told her a story which her mother had told her. So it's a story which had been going there for many years. That at some future day, Bhavishya mein, a child should be born near here. A person will be born around this place who was destiny to become the greatest and the noblest person of his time. There a person will be born around this area who will be very great, very noble, and whose face when he grows up in manhood means when you are young, and when he grows up should bear an exact resemble to the great stone face. So this is the prophecy that someday someone will be born and who will resemble this great stone face. Many still had faith in this old prophecy, so many people still believed this prophecy, Bhavishyavani. But others took it to nothing but idle talk. Idle talk is useless talk. Some believed that this would happen, and others thought that it was useless talk. It was foolish talk. At all events, the great man of the prophecy had not yet appeared. And till now, nothing like that had happened. The prophecy had not come true. "Oh, mother," cried Ernest, clapping his hands above his head, "I do hope that I shall live to see him." And the child says, "Mother, I wish that I will be alive when such a thing happens." His mother was an affectionate is loving and thoughtful woman. It was proper, she thought, not to discourage the fanciful. Fanciful is who's having lot of fancies, imaginations, hopes of a little boy. So she doesn't want to disappoint her little boy. So she said to him, "Perhaps you may. Definitely, my son, one day you will live to see this kind of a person." And Ernest never forgot the story that his mother told him. It was always in his mind whenever he looked upon the great stone face, and he remembered this story which his mother had told him. He spent his childhood in the log cottage. Log is wooden. The cottage is made of wood. In mountains, normally we have cottages, houses made of wood, because wood keeps you warm. It is a bad conductor of heat. It does not allow the heat from within the house to go out, so it keeps you warm. Was dutiful to his mother and helpful to her in many things, assisting her much with his little hands. So he was small, but he was a very helpful son, and more with his loving heart. And he had a loving heart. He loved his mother and he loved helping her. In this manner, from a happy yet often pensive. Pensive is thought and sad. Like if I say you are in a pensive mood, that means you are in a thoughtful mood. Child, he grew up to be a mild and quiet youth. And now he is a young boy. From small boy, he's become a young boy. So we'll continue with this in our next video. Thank you all of you and have a nice day.